absorbed. Apply additional sealer in these areas to ensure that the floor dries evenly and gets an even application of sealer. You may also see areas with excess sealer. The excess sealer should be removed with an absorbent terry cloth towel, or the floor may dry tacky and show footprints. The following coverage rates are ranges and will vary depending on the type and porosity of the stone. Solid rock will cover from 600 to 1,200 square feet per gallon. DuraProtect will cover from 250 to 800 square feet per gallon. 1 to 3 applications may be required depending on porosity. Very porous stones may need more. Test for this after the initial coat is dried for at least 1 hour. Place a drop of water on the newly sealed stone. If it absorbs readily, then a second coat is needed. When a second coat is being applied, the coverage will normally be much greater than with the first coat. The floor will normally be walkable in 3 to 4 hours, ready to use in 8 to 12 hours, and totally cured in 24 hours. Trainer, pause the DVD now and show a demonstration of the sealer. Another sealer that can transform the appearance of stones that will not take a high polish, like slate, is Revive. Revive Stone Color Enhancer and Sealer is designed to reveal the vibrant colors hidden in the stone and highlight all the rich colors of the stone. Revive is safe on any interior stone surface, but is especially effective on slate, Satio tile, flamed or tumbled surfaces, and other textured or porous surfaces. The easy-to-use water-based formula provides long-lasting protection against common household spills and soils. Revive is applied in the same manner as the other sealers we have discussed. Allow Revive 15 to 30 minutes to penetrate the surface. Denser, less porous materials will require the full 30 minutes. Keep the surface wet with sealer during this time, adding more product if needed to prevent dry spots. Following penetration time, wipe the surface dry with absorbent non-linting towels. Do not allow excess sealer to dry on the surface. Revive Stone Color Enhancer and Sealer may also be used to disguise minor etching and scratching in polished stone surfaces. Depending on the surface and the usage, sealer will need to be reapplied every 6 to 18 months. Remember, if you provide your clients with Vivid and Regenerate to maintain the floor, the sealers will last much longer. This section will discuss the potential problems that you may encounter when cleaning stone and how to prevent or correct them. Being able to identify and correct these issues will help ensure that you provide a quality service to your customer. We will start with problems that can occur with sealers. The first of these is sealer haze. Natural stone cannot hold an unlimited amount of sealer. When more sealer is applied than the surface can contain, there will be excess sealer on the surface. The floor may dry slowly or feel tacky. When finally dry, this may appear as a smooth, milky white haze. The haze may be easy to remove, or it may take a little work. Try these solutions in order. Test small areas affected by the haze to determine which method will yield the best results. Dry mop the surface with a flat mop to remove excess sealer. If that doesn't do it, saturate a mop with the sealer and damp mop the floor. This will dissolve the existing sealer. Then, while still damp, dry mop to remove the excess sealer. In extreme cases, excess sealer can be stripped off using Stone Perfect and a rotary floor machine with the appropriate scrubbing pad or brush. What is appropriate will vary depending on the finish, how heavy a buildup, and other factors. You may also be able to buff off the excess sealer with a VersaPro rotary floor machine and white floor pad. This next situation we'll discuss is called efflorescence. As we mentioned earlier, it is a white crystalline or powdery deposit on the surface of the stone. It is caused by the movement of water through the stone, dissolving solids and depositing them on the surface as the water evaporates. It is easily seen on darker grout lines, slate, and Satio tile. Causes of efflorescence may include water damage from floods or poor maintenance where too much water is used. Even a high water table or sprinklers may get excess moisture into a concrete subfloor. When efflorescence appears, it is rather simple to remove. Sometimes the efflorescence is mild enough to brush off with a stiff brush, such as a grout brush. More severe efflorescence can be dissolved with Spinergy Resuscitate, our acid side cleaner. Keep in mind, though, that on many stone surfaces, any acid will etch the surface, causing dulling that will need to be repaired with our polishing procedures. Removing efflorescence will be discussed in our advanced course. Oil can penetrate deeply into porous grout and stone. The protection provided by applying and maintaining a quality sealer is the best prevention. When oil or grease stains occur that are not removed by normal cleaning, they can be removed with a poultice. Here are the steps involved. First, pour Spinergy Stain Absorb for Stone onto the stained area. Second, cover the oil stain with the mixture up to a 1/4 inch thick. Extend coverage approximately 1 inch around the stain. Third, allow 24 hours for the solution to completely dry. Fourth, sweep or vacuum away the poultice. Fifth, for severe and older deposits, you may need to repeat the procedure. Stain Absorb for Stone needs a full 24 hours to work. If temperature, airflow, and humidity make it possible that the Stain Absorb for Stone will dry out in less than 24 hours, you may choose to cover it with a layer of plastic food wrap. Following spot removal, apply Spinergy DuraProtect Impregnating Sealer or Solid Rock Premium Stone and Grout Sealer. Organic stains are generally caused by wine, coffee, tea, ketchup, mustard, and many other water-based household food and beverage spills. These can be treated with Spinergy Stain Absorb for Stone in much the same way as oil stains. If discoloration remains after a treatment with Stain Absorb with Stone, consider the application of Bridgepoint Stain Zone, followed by Stain Absorb for Stone. Test the stone surface for color fastness and texture damage before applying Stain Zone to the stone. Apply Stain Zone to discoloration and allow a few minutes for it to begin working. If the stain does not disappear in a few minutes, make a new application of Stain Absorb for Stone. Rust stains on stone may come from rusty metal on the surface or from iron that is part of the stone. Some surface rust stains can be removed with the restorative cleaning procedures previously discussed. Deeper rust stains will respond to the acid cleaning procedures with Spinergy Resuscitate previously discussed. If the stone remains moist and iron is present, rust will naturally return. Here is an item of caution. Acid cleaning is not appropriate for many types of stone. For rust stains on limestone, marble, or travertine, polishing or grinding may be required. Floors may have a buildup of topical coatings or finishes. Many can be difficult to remove. Stone, porous tile, and grout should be treated with penetrating finishes rather than topical coatings. If you know what topical sealer was applied, there is often a companion product to remove the finish. Use that product according to label directions. When the finish is unknown, mix Spinergy Stone Perfect 4:1. Apply liberally. Allow 10 to 20 minutes dwell time, but do not allow the solution to dry on the floor. Use a rotary floor machine with the appropriate brush or black stripping pad to loosen and emulsify the finish. Grout lines may need to be agitated with a grout brush. Remove the slurry and rinse. This may be done with a squeegee and a mop or wet vac. Heavy coatings may require multiple cleanings. This process is similar to stripping finish from VCT. It has just gotten easier to enter the lucrative world of stone restoration with the introduction of Spinergy polishing pads. What you are about to learn is an easy, nearly foolproof way to restore worn-out stone surfaces to a factory finish or better, with virtually no risk of damaging the stone surfaces you are working on. As there are no harsh acidic powders, pastes, or chemicals involved in the process, there is no need to worry about seriously damaging the stone surface. This training covers light restoration. This is all that will be needed in buildings that are properly and regularly maintained. 70% or more of the floors that you will encounter can be brought to their original finish by the methods we will cover. Limestone, travertine, marble, and terrazzo become worn and abraded due to foot traffic and abrasive soils. You will occasionally run across floors that will have deep scratches, gouges, moderate to severe orange peel due to improper care, or other conditions that require heavier restoration methods. These methods may include surface hardeners and/or resin-bonded diamond discs. These subjects and procedures will be covered in more advanced training. Here is an example of a void in a travertine floor that has lost its resin filling. It is important to always inspect the floor for this type of damage before you begin work. This will need to be repaired, but will not affect the use of the Spinergy pads on this floor. Spinergy diamond-impregnated pads are the safe, easy, and effective way to restore the surface appearance to the original factory finish, or in some cases, even better. Old methods require the technician to use multiple honing powders, polishing pastes, or crystallizers, which are slow and messy to use. They can contain acids that can damage the surface of the stone when improperly used. Spinergy pads require no messy or toxic chemicals and no acids, only water. Plus, the pads are all natural, so they are friendly to the environment. Spinergy pads come in 7 different grits, but you'll only need 5 to cover the majority of situations. In some jobs, you may not even need all 5 of the most commonly used grits, and may be able to achieve the desired results with just 1 or 2 steps. The grits are numbered like sandpaper. Lower numbered grits are more aggressive. The right grit for any job depends upon the situation. When selecting the proper grit to use, consider 2 things. What is the condition of the floor? If the floor has been kept in good condition, you may only need to restore the shine to a factory finish. How soft is the stone? You may not think of stone as being soft, but comparatively, some stone is softer than others. Even within stone types, there are variations in hardness. As a general rule, lighter colored stone is softer. Travertine and limestone are among the softest stones you will work with. Limestone is also considered to be a soft stone. However, French limestone tends to be harder than other limestone. Marble is a harder stone than limestone. Dark colors of marble will be harder than light shades of marble. The surface of terrazzo is marble chips, so treat it like marble. The Spinergy pad process is essentially the same for all stone surfaces. In this example, we will be demonstrating the process on travertine. As a caution, heavily abraded limestone and travertine may require pre-treatment with the 500 grit resin-bonded diamond discs, followed by the application of a hardener because of the relative softness of the stone. You'll see that process in the advanced training. As a carpet cleaner, you probably know how important vacuuming is as a first step in cleaning. Dry soil removal is even more important for stone care. Even a small gritty particle caught under the floor machine could seriously scratch the floor surface and ruin your hard work. Make sure the surface is clean and free of debris. This can be done by brush or vacuum, or a dust mop, as we will use in this case. A good idea is to take a reading with a gloss meter. This will let you and your customer know in concrete terms how much you have improved the surface. You'll want to take several readings from different areas to get a good average reading. On this floor, we'll take our readings next to the void we noticed in our pre-inspection, as it is likely the most worn area. We're getting wildly different readings depending on the area we test. Let's see if we can even this up. The condition of the floor and the results the customer is looking for will determine which pad to start with. In this example, the floor is dull but not severely damaged or etched, so we will begin with a 3000 grit blue pad. Place the pad under the machine with the color-coded side toward the machine. Make sure the area is wet but not flooded. The right sprayer is one key to speed and efficiency. Here we are using a Hydroforce pump-up sprayer, but the Hydroforce FlexiPro battery-operated sprayer is also an excellent choice. Work with a small area, about 4 feet wide by 4 feet deep at a time. Work the machine in an oval pattern. Overlap each pass by 4 to 6 inches. On a large floor, you would work one 4 foot by 4 foot section for between 1 and 2 minutes, no longer. But as this is a narrow hallway, we will work the entire width. Let's check